foot that must have been lying.
What's the offset?
06, we're ready. Okay, here we go. Hang on, people.
Finally, she's ready, and Greg carefully inserts the bite bar between her jaws. But she hasn't finished rolling, and now she has Greg's bite bar wedged between her teeth.
Let her down a little bit.
Okay.
This animal just generated a snapping bite of 860 pounds, which is an enormous amount of force, and you know, the pressures were extremely high on the tips of those teeth. So if this animal had, say, tried to take out a large prey item, say a deer or something like that, it certainly could have punctured the hide, and obviously it's exerting the kind of that kind of force right now. We can't even get our bite bar back out.
To force the jaws open is equivalent to lifting 860 pounds. You'd need a car jack to pry the bar out.
This is a common behavior, and it's a defensive thing. If you've bitten down on a potential predator or a rival, and you hold on to them, they're obviously not going to be able to turn and get a hold of you. And overpowering bite obviously implies some dominance.
Minutes later, they finally get the bar back. Greg and team need data from different size animals. They move on to test a large male, not knowing the kind of power this animal's jaws will be capable of.
Good bite. Next one.
2125.
What's it, buddy?
2125.
2,125 pounds.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow.
Over a ton of force in a split second.
The bite force we measured of 2,125 pounds is the highest bite force ever measured for any animal living today. And just for comparison, the spotted hyena, the bone-crushing champion among mammals, only generates a bite about half that, around 1,000 pounds. Animals such as lions are similarly in that range. Sharks are a little bit lower. 2,125 pounds, that's equivalent to putting a small pickup truck on top of this animal's head and pressing its teeth down. So you imagine just incredible pressure was generated when it did that bite. In order to generate this 2,000 plus pound bite force, the animal obviously has to have incredibly large adductor musculature, and that's what you see right here, some of the pterygoid muscles. They're just huge. It's just amazing how big this animal really is.
To estimate the bite of Sarcosuchus, Greg must tally bite force against weight. So they have to get this monster onto a scale.
Okay, 662 pounds, 12 foot 2.5. That's a big gator.
But it's a pipsqueak compared to Sarcosuchus.
Clear?
If this animal has the highest bite force ever measured, how big a bite did Super Croc have? To find out, Greg and Kent want to measure a wide range of different crocodile species.
This is where the teeth came across, so we're going to switch to a little bit bigger bar on this animal for health reasons. Everyone okay?
Got a roof. By plotting the measurements, Greg finds that, not surprisingly, the bigger the beast, the more imposing its chomp.
What we found in this research is that there's a very strong relationship between the body weight of these animals and the bite forces that they can generate. Now, because of that tight relationship, we can predict bite forces for Sarcosuchus.
Rick's data show that Sarcosuchus had a bite force of around 18,000 pounds. Take this bite and multiply it by 9, you get an idea of the bite of the super croc.
We think that this animal was capable of eating just about anything it wanted. We know what kinds of animals were inhabiting the rivers from the fossils we found right around Sarcosuchus. There were many kinds of very large fish that reached 4 or 5 feet in length. Of course, there were dinosaurs roaming the banks of the rivers. There were plant eaters like Iguanodon, sauropods, the long-necked dinosaurs, like our Diplodocus. There were predatory dinosaurs. The young of these animals, something like a 10, 12, 15-foot sauropod dinosaur drinking at the shore, this animal would have no problem dragging it down, much like a Nile crocodile today drags a wildebeest under the water to its untimely death.
Paul knows from Greg's results that Sarcosuchus probably have a strong enough bite to take down a multi-ton dinosaur.